tomorrow may bring one or two things that you don't like.
And if it does, you can rise above, and win the fight. One way to win it is to love.
Just like a medicine, just like a medicine, just like a medicine, just like a medicine. Keep on loving. Laughter does good, like a medicine, just like a medicine, and it works, y'all, just like a medicine. So when they lie on, laugh about. When they talk about you, laugh about. When they scandalize your name, laugh about. That's when you take your medicine. Let it go down, let it go down. Laugh about it. Let it heal your broken heart. Laugh about it. Laughter will heal your broken heart. When you take your medicine. Now let me hear you laugh. Oh, in the good time, mostly in the bad time. Let it go just like medicine.
Let it go down.
Wipe the tears away. Come on, wipe the tears away. Let go of the tears away. Just like medicine. Let it go down, let it go down. Let it does good, yeah. It does good, yeah. Like Pnwtv. Like a medicine. Healed it, healed it. Soothed it, healed it, soothed it. Just like a medicine.
Like a medicine.
Say it one more time. Laughter does good. Just like a medicine. Life in your drum. Just like a medicine. Oh, just like a medicine.
Welcome back to Motivational Faith. If you just joined us, we are talking on relationships today, and we just listened to that music video that says it all comes down to love. Help me welcome Apostle John Puri in the house. Apostle, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's wonderful just to be here.
Yes.
And thanks for your invitation. And we'll talk about relationship, and also to the viewers. I just want to
Yes.
say you are also welcome, and thanks for just to watch us here.
Yes.
And when you talk about relationships, when you talk about relationships, because look, you see, there are no schools for relationships.
Yes.
And relationships are very important because relationships in your life, you can just imagine you get from grade 1 to grade 12. But when you get married, you might even stay in that marriage for about 36 years. Some even stay about 50 years. So it means that it looks like you are going grade 1 to grade 12 maybe 5 times. So it means that when you're talking about relationship, especially now where we are going to be dealing with on how to find your wife, how to find a husband, because most of the times people don't realize that if you can choose a right partner, 60% of success of your marriage, just the right person, it defines the success.
Sure.
Just 60%. So if you can choose the right, it means already 60% you are successful.
Wow.
You see, when it comes to marriage. But you know what? During that time, there is a lot of emotions.
Yes.
You know, people just, there's some goosebumps of love, there's all those kinds of things that happen. So because of that, people tend to choose wrong. You see, because of they choose wrong people. And you know, when it comes to the women, I'll tell most of the times women, I tell them to say, you know, when you talk about Eve, she was with God before she was introduced to the man. and the man also was with God, busy with God, and God said it's not good for a man to be alone. And then he released a woman who was busy with God to the man. And when the man saw the woman, the man said, yeah, this one, she shall be called womb man, a man with a womb. You see, and she shall be called female.
Yes.
You know, because between me and her, the difference it will be the male, and the other difference it will be, yeah. So when it comes to relationships, most of the times I tell people to say, you see, the kind of a woman that you are going to find, you see, and then you know, when the woman was introduced to the man, he said, this is bone of my bone, this is flesh of my flesh, she shall be called woman.
Yes.
You know,
Apostle, I want us to, before we just get to the what do you look for and how to really get to that place. Firstly, the readiness. How do I know that I'm ready now to be in a relationship?
how do you know you are ready?
Yes.
Number one, I talk about age.
Your age.
You see, at the right age, because you cannot. I remember one time, one guy was in grade 11. Says, "Pastor, find a girl." I said, "Go and tell her today that that thing is finished."
Okay.
Why? Because he was not ready. He was going to do that was a relationship at the wrong time altogether. It is age, and when you talk about Adam also, he had, first of all, God had to make him to find a job.
Responsibilities.
Yeah, God had to make him tender the garden first of all. So the readiness is that, are you having, especially to a man, do you have a job to keep this woman?
Okay.
You see, to keep. Now, most of the times, God was saying it's not good for man to be alone. There are certain it's good for them to be alone.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is it good for them to? They are not ready. They are not
ready.
having a job, so it is good for them to be alone. God spoke about it is not good for man to be alone, because he realized that the man was ready for the woman. And the woman was ready also for the man. And you see the combination of the two, you see, that's why many people are not ready for each other. And then the other things which we need to look at, you know, you talk about your vision.
Okay.
Is this person going to fit in my vision?
My vision, yeah.
You see, is this person going to be fitting in my vision? You see, what is my vision? You see, am I going to be a businesswoman? Am I going to be a preacher? Am I going to, is this person going to fit in my vision? And no matter how beautiful they might be, but if they cannot fit in my vision, they cannot, you know, you can't be in a relationship where somebody doesn't fit in the vision, because at the end of the day, you might, you know what, there'll be conflicts.
Oh, yes.
Problems, you know, challenges in the relationship. And that's why a lot of people end up being divorced, because divorce, most of the times, it starts not when people, it starts from the very foundation.
Okay.
So foundations are very important. Then the other thing which we need to look at, it's the character. Because you marry character. You marry character. Because let me tell you, this guy can, especially guys, when it is the early stages, they will take you to the restaurants. They know which restaurants are there. They'll take you to the restaurants. They'll be the ones that are in the forefront. They buy you food. They'll do a lot of things. You know, they're trying to catch you. But the time they catch you, after 2 years in the marriage, you have to remind them to say, are we going to go out? Are we going to? Because now they forget about restaurants, because they have caught the woman. So first of all, it's the character. You see, because many a times you can be beautiful, you can be all this, because you will never go beyond your character. So what I would say in most cases is that you get married to this person, you look at the character of the person. You see, because people divorce character, and there are many people that will tell you to say, you know what, I loved this woman so much, I loved, but there's nothing I can do because her character is not just okay. So I'm going to divorce her because of her character. You see, so, and then when you're talking about also marriage, is that somebody, can they meet your needs? Can they meet your needs? You see, because your needs, if they're not met, you cannot stay with somebody who doesn't meet your needs. And as a woman, you have some needs. And one of the needs is that the first amongst the biggest need of a woman is to be loved.
Yes.
You see, to be loved. Because you marry because you have needs. And one of the needs is love. You see? Now, most of the times people say, I married because of love. No? You marry because of need. Because if somebody meets your needs, and one of the needs is love, and some of the needs is somebody who will compliment you, somebody who will tell you to say you are looking good,
Yes.
you are looking wonderful, you are looking awesome, you know, all those kinds of words. You are gorgeous, you know,
Sure.
wonderful words which somebody can express
Sure.
you know, express to you. Now, you need also somebody who is going to be, that's the I'm talking about the needs of a woman. Somebody who is going to let you be what God has made you to be.
Oh, yeah.
Allow you so that you can express yourself. You
Sure.
know, yeah. So those are when you are talking about relationships. You know, now to the needs of the man, the greatest
man,
need of a
yes.
man is to be respected. Most of the times I normally tell women to say men don't need a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
All what a man needs, if you can just respect them, I'm telling you, they can stay with you for many years. Because
Sure.
all what he needs is just to be respected. You see, above all the needs of the man, they might need sex, they might need, you know, all those kinds of things. But the greatest need of a man is to be
being
respected.
respected.
If you can
Wow.
respect a man, and I tell women to say, if you are looking at, we are just in love, but you cannot respect a man, don't marry them. Because
Sure.
it will cause a problem at a later stage. So respect to a man is very important.
Very important.
So when you are talking about relationship, who am I going to marry? Can they meet my needs? You see? Then also you need to look at the age. You know, some of the people, they say, hey, I want to get married. You see, those people who are around 40s, they must not even pray. I need somebody younger. You see, all those
Okay.
kinds of things. So now, certain people also get married for wrong reasons.
Okay.
You see, get married for wrong reason. But later, I might be talking about that maybe at a later stage.
Yes, yes,
but for
please.
now, I'm just looking at things that we are looking at initial stage of your relationship.
Okay.
Yes.
Apostle, as we continue, I think what I picked up on this first part,
Yes.
that what sustains relationships between men and women is when we give each other what we truly need. Like for a woman needs love,
Yes.
and then the man needs respect.
Yes.
So that exchange is what makes the relationship to be smooth.
Definitely.
Wow.
You need to give something. You need to
Yes.
give something because,
Yes.
you know, I'm looking for somebody who is going to go. Some of the people, I'm looking for somebody who is very rich, you know.
And all
Even
that.
I need maybe the somebody who is a brother to Patrice Mosepe. Somebody who is so much rich, you
Wow,
know.
wow.
Somebody who has a big compounds, a big
Yes.
car, big things, all those kinds of things. Those are things sometimes people are looking for. As a
Yes,
result, you know,
yes.
they miss potential people who genuinely love them and stay with
That's
the rest
so
of their
true.
lives.
All right,
Yes.
as we go for an ad break, we are coming back. This is really exciting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Welcome back, our viewers. If you just joined us, we are talking on relationships with Apostle John Phiri. Just before the ad break, Apostle, you were unpacking to us about that we get married or we get into relationships because of the needs, and that we need to be able to meet each other's needs. And I think you were also mentioning the issue, the wrong reasons why other people get into relationships or get married. Can you unpack that for us?
Yes, you see, most of the times, even a lot of us, we are products of wrong marriages.
Sure.
You see, because people get married for wrong
Sure.
reasons, and they are looking for a man and they're looking for a woman for just a wrong reason. One of the wrong reasons is that here you are. You see, especially to the women's side, I'll talk maybe to the side of the women. You see, sometimes there's so much consumed about wedding.
Oh, yes.
You see, they want to have that day for themselves. They want to say, I just want to find a man so that he can just get to me to the ISO, you know, just to make sure that that day I shine, especially these days where you have got Facebook, you know, and somebody's posting some things, you know. So they just looking for that day which it will be theirs, so they can get you know, any man which they think. You see, you know, there was a situation of a lady. She even paid for lobola for a guy, and then after that, in fact, the relatives did not know that the lady, you know, was the one who gave him the money. You see, all what she wanted was to have this wedding. You see, so she paid everything. She paid everything. She paid the wedding expenses, and she was there just to do something for herself. And you know what?
She married herself.
After a month or two, the guy said, "No, I never loved you." You see, he went and then he took the money which she paid for lobola. He went to look for another woman
With the same amount.
the same amount, and he went for another wedding. And he said, "This one is the one that I love. The other one, she married herself." So don't as a woman, don't push yourself too much. And when the women that makes themselves cheap, very much cheap, because they're just looking for a wedding, and they can even, you know, they can get to any man as long as is willing to get them into a wedding. You see, you can maybe watch TV programs where people are marrying one to one, and you are so much consumed about the wedding. So that's a wrong reason. You see, I remember where I talked to one lady. I said, "I'm not comfortable with this man you're marrying." She said, "No, you see, but I could see that, hey, you know what? He just wanted just to sleep with her." But she was saying, "I won't sleep with her unless you are married to you." You know what? He got married to her, went into the wedding, slept with her for 1 week, and left her, and never came back. Why? Because it was just an issue of just wedding issues. You see? So don't give yourself unnecessary pressure. You see? And others also, they get married to say, "You know what, I've just been dumped. So let me just look for somebody so that I can show my ex that there's somebody who loves me." You see, so all of a sudden they look for this a man or woman quickly within a short period of time. Most of the times I tell people to say, heal yourself first.
Get healed.
Get healed, and then allow the person now to come in. You cannot just be having a hate and pain, and then you look for a relationship quickly. And then the other reason, there are these, for some of the guys, you know, I want to get married because I want to sleep with somebody every time. So he gets married. A woman is not a sex machine. She won't be feeling sex, all those things every time. So he wants sex every day. And if you don't give him, it becomes a problem. You see, so you don't marry for sex, and if she doesn't give him the sex, he's going for another woman. You know, so it's not okay. And others also, men also, the other reason why they want to get married, it's they want to get married because they're looking for somebody who's going to be a cook, clean for them, you know, clean for them. They're just looking for somebody who is going to just be there like a domestic worker for them. You see, so because it's becoming a bit of expensive to get a helper at home, so he just wants a wife who is going to play that domestic thing there, but he doesn't love her so much. You see, so you know, you don't need somebody who is just cleaning for you. You see, so all those kinds of wrong reasons, a lot of people marry for wrong reasons. So it's very important that now, what is the right reason to marry? You are going to marry to say, "I'm going to marry you, I'm going to tolerate you,
Yes.
I'm going to live with you the rest of my life. No matter what happens, I'm going to enter into covenant.
Yes.
I'm going to be there for you, whether there'll be challenges or not, but I'm just going to love you the way you are. And then if there's certain things that I'm going to change for you, and I'm going to learn to love you.
Sure.
To learn to love you so that we can stay the rest of your life,
And
the
grow
rest
old
of our
together.
lives, and grow, of course, together. And you see what? Most of the times I tell people, because we pastors, we don't say we are arguing. We say we have what you call compassionate talks.
Okay, compassionate talks.
Yes, compassionate talk.
Yes.
Because sometimes we might have some compassionate talks where things are not they're challenging. But what you need to do, that even marriage, there'll be some compassionate talks where you might argue, but at the end of the day, you say we will love each other, no matter what happens. So many people marry, of course, for wrong reasons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Apostle, can you share with us where our viewers can actually connect with you so they can get more wisdom around relationships?
Yeah, what you can do, you can check our Facebook,
Okay.
Disciples Fellowship, and Apostle John Piri on Facebook. And of course, we can contact us also on 072 526 0025. Those are our cell numbers, and
Yes,
of
yes.
course our landline number is 018 462 6218.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you are also available with your talks on our local radio station, Star FM?
Yes, definitely. I do the relationship school that is, it's been running now for about 5 years.
Wow.
You can just imagine 5 years program,
Sure.
dishing out a lot of things. And I've been reading about more than 100 books on relationship.
Sure.
So I update myself every time. Yeah,
Yes.
so we have a radio program every Wednesday at 10:30. Yeah, you catch us on 102.9 megahertz.
Yes.
That's where we are, just discussing relationships.
And you're also mentoring or counseling couples who want to get married, preparing them for marriage.
Definitely.
Yes,
We
yes.
counsel the couples, and we counsel couples, and it's very important that you get counseled. Counseling doesn't sort out all the problems, but
Yes.
at least reduces marriage problems by 60%.
Awesome. And
Yes.
it helps you actually in your journey of marriage to know how to work things out.
Definitely, because every time, when you are going before the pastor, 3-4 times sessions, it means you are getting used. That when you have problems, you are going to go together and sit together there. You see,
And resolve them.
And resolve the problem. And one of the first part of my counseling, I normally tell people to say, the first is major agreement and minor agreement. Major
Wow.
agreement: how many children are we going to have?
Sure.
How are we going to stay? These are major agreement. You don't have just we get married and then how are we going to live? Major agreement, and they sign the agreements.
Sure.
That's the first part of what we normally do when
Yes.
it comes to marriage itself.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Apostle John Piri. Right now, we're just going to go to an ad break, as we'll be coming back, going to close with that beautiful new combination gospel choir that was here. And on relationships, you just heard it. There's just so much to learn from Apostle John Piri on relationships. We are coming back. Welcome back, our viewers. If you just joined us, we are talking on relationships today with Apostle John Piri. Right now, we'll have the last words from Apostle John Piri on relationships. Apostle John Piri.
Yes. What I can advise, if you see a young man today and a young lady today, and you're about to get married, you are available, and that's your time. I call them the ATMs. About to get married.
Oh.
You see, if you are an ATM, you are just about to get married. What I would urge you, it's just get information, get well informed. Don't move with emotions, not at all. You see, when you get into dating, because dating sometimes can make you dirty, you see, but you gotta be very much prepared that I'm going to get this relationship from dating to courtship and to engagement, then you get married. Those processes, all those processes, well informed. I'm telling you, if your foundation is that way, your marriage can stand. So you can contact us at any time at Disciples Fellowship International Center. God bless you, and thank you for hosting me.
Thank you so much, Apostle. Thank you so much for being with us today. You heard it, relationships are important. Relationships are very, very crucial to our lives as human beings. And remember, relationships are about giving to one another and taking care of each other's needs. As we close today, we'll have the new combination gospel choir closing for us in song. But remember, we love you here at Motivational Faith. Connect with us through our Facebook page, Motivational Faith with Pastor Dibuseng Chabalala, and tell us your thoughts on the subject that we're talking about today, relationships and others that already have passed. And please continue to send us your messages. Thank you to the crew. Thank you to the new combination gospel choir. And thank you to you for tuning in today. See you again next time, same place, same time. God bless you. Keep the faith. Shalom.
I surrender to you everything, everything I give to you, withholding nothing, to thee, my blessed Savior, I surrender all unto thee. Unto thee, my blessed all unto you. Sawena, oh, I sawena, oh, unto thee, Mama bless and Savior, I sawena. I surrender, I sawena.
Motimeko Hai, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Women in Power with me, your host, Katlego Ngwenya. Well, we live in a time when young women being a slave queen, but on the show, we are all about bringing women of influence, women who come to teach us about slaying in the boardroom, slaying as a slave queen, and also making a difference in our communities. So I'm excited. Our guest is a phenomenal woman. I'm talking about Dr. Valencia Simmons, who is a medical doctor and also involved in various community work as well. So Dr. Simmons, welcome to the show. Yay, leg baie mooi, is baie welcome.
Baie dankie. Hello.
Wow, good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming. You can have a sit.
Thank you.
Yes. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me
To
here.
Women in Power. Yay, leg baie mooi. You know, I'm going to tell the viewers something they do not know. You did not sleep because you were on duty the whole night. But you look good. You don't look like someone who didn't sleep at all.
Well, working as a team and by God's grace, one
Yes.
can do it, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome, and we're going to be talking to you about the profession that you do. You are a medical doctor. Can you just tell us more about that, please?
Yes, I've been a medical doctor now for the past 5 years. I graduated in 2014. I started working 1st of April as a medical intern, which is a duration of 2 years and then 1 year ComServe.
Okay.
And then now I'm a medical officer working primarily in pediatrics. A quite amazing journey, of learning to know yourself and also the profession. Before I started medicine, some of the students, they said that your career is your lifestyle, and I can clearly see what they meant.
What they meant by that.
Yes.
Wow. So I'm going to ask you, why medicine? Especially, you just mentioned that you specialize in, you are in
Pediatrics.
Pediatrics, yes.
I'm a kiddie doctor, yes.
Yes.
The reason why I decided to do medicine, first of all, I believe every kid wonders, how does the doctor know? You know, you go there and you complain maybe about your chest, and it's like a chest infection, and he knows exactly what to
say.
prescribe.
Yeah.
So first of all, I wanted to know what they wanted to know, because I also wanted to have the answers. Second of all, in my high school years, it was more a point that I had to prove to myself that I will be able to get into medicine, first of all, and second of all, to complete the course. Something that people might not know, I had a very low self-esteem. I was always behind, behind in terms of I won't take the front lead. In terms of suggesting things or what. Like, and I had it within me. Like, and I would be in the bathroom, like, and say, imagining I would do this, this, and this. But when it comes to there, I would not go there, you know.
Yeah.
And then also, there was one doctor that I went to, and I had spoken to him, and he was of the opinion, because of the kind of character that I have,
Personality that you
yes,
have, yes.
personality, I'm very reserved, that I won't
You're
be
an
able to make.
introvert, in other words.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
yes. So that was more a point to prove to myself. I don't want to be at the end of my life and sit maybe like the old Madalas watching a soccer match, saying,
Madalas.
if I were there, I would have done 1, 2, 3. So I would rather try and fail than not to try. Yeah.
All right. I know for sure that when you're in pediatrics, you work a lot with kids. Is that something that are you naturally a person who loves to work with kids, or why pediatrics?
Well, I actually made that decision in my final year as an intern.
Intern already.
I remember I was working in the medical unit, we call it internal medicine,
Okay.
and I had this big African mama. And I remember it was December, it was very hot.
Okay.
And I had to do a cardiac examination. And as I said, it's an African woman. So I had to listen to the heart. So there was a lot of subcutaneous tissue that I had to go through, and I had to lift up the breast.
My goodness,
I had
yeah.
gloves on, but when I removed, my hands were soaking wet, you know. And I made the decision,
I'm not doing that again.
no, I want kids. Yeah.
Yeah. But how is it like so far working with kids? I mean, they're so adorable. So I can imagine dealing with them when they are sick. I mean, how do you do that?
Yeah. Working with kids has its own challenges in terms of they can't come and tell you, hey, the younger ones now.
Yeah.
They can't come and say, hey, I've got a pain, this is wrong. They just cry. So there's the language. And then also you have to deal with the parents also. In terms of, most of the times you'll find that the child is completely fine, but it's the parent. You know, they're worried about something, or something has happened at home and they are more concerned, you know. So it is two different spectrums that you have to deal with. But working with children, it's amazing. Unfortunately, they come in very sick with us. And one thing pediatrics has taught me, if you act fast, you can make a change.
Wow.
I once saw in ICU a child go like in white as a sheet. And just by doing measurements, that child just turned around, came out of ICU. So pediatrics is one of those disciplines where you can really make a change in not just the child's life, but the whole family.
Yeah. Would you also agree with the fact that, you know, what you do is also a calling? It should be a calling.
Yes, I would agree with that. Just think, you wake up very early, sleepless nights, and you are in a place that you don't like.
Yeah.
It must be a calling and a purpose. People who just do it for money, they don't stay long, and they are frustrated, end up in depression also. Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you so much. We're learning a lot from Dr. Valencia Simmons. If you've just joined us, you're watching Women in Power with me, your host Katlego Ongwenya. And remember to also talk to us, chat to us on our Facebook page, Women in Power. Right about now, we're going to take a look at what exactly she does at work, since we've been talking a lot about her being a doctor and working a lot with kids. So let's take a look. Well, if you've just joined us, welcome, and you are watching Women in Power. I am joined by Dr. Valencia Simmons right here on Women in Power. Remember to chat to us on our social media platforms. We are Women in Power because we believe in empowering others. We believe in bringing women who can empower others by sharing their journeys as well. We're talking, Dr. Simmons, that you are also involved in various organizations as well.
Yes, one that we have is called Call Rise, Chronicles of Ladies Rise. If you look into the definition of Chronicles, it's basically like a prologue, a story that's been told, and I believe every woman has got a story to tell, yes. And it creates an environment where women are uplifting each other, where we go to schools for outreaches with your sanitary pad drives, where we liaise with other stakeholders, either the hospital or some community leaders, and then we just make a bigger impact with more contribution to that. The main aim, it is like almost like a mentorship program where we find girls, mostly like troublesome girls,
Okay.
and then hear hore, why they're troublesome, and then also what they want to become. So then you change hore, what their current vision is, to something long term also. Yes. And I've got two other ladies who are part of this NPO. One is a teacher and one is a colleague of mine. I strategically chose them for various reasons. Maybe on another platform they can come and then also say. The one is a teacher, the reason being so that we can reach out more to schools. The reason why I started this Call Rise is I had spoken to colleagues of mine. When I say colleagues, I mean mostly your sisters. I've seen that a lot of women, they are established women. They are single and they've made it in life. And they were willing to open up their stories. And another thing why I wanted to do Call Rise, I want another girl child to achieve things faster than what I did. If I had a mentor when I started internship, showing me the ropes and also say, hey Nana, this is a red flag, don't do that. So if I can help in that regard, and I feel like if you can do it at school level, why not? Because there's where the brain is still...
The earlier the better.
Still fresh soil, you can still speak life into it. They're not so...
Yeah, in my mother tongue they say li odwa li salimeti. In other words, you prepared while it's still wet. Once the stick it's dry, it's gonna break. So yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yes, because normally when they are still at school, they are being influenced the environment and the home they come from. I'm actually busy now where we want to do an outreach with some of my colleagues via the NPO and via the hospital also to one of our neighboring small dorpies, if I can say that. And it was so sad. We had this particular girl, she's 15 years old. She was in our ICU. She unfortunately lost the child. But this, I remember I was sitting there in the nurses' bay, and two of the sisters were saying, actually complaining to each other, but this child, she's just 15.
Complaining about her?
About the patient now,
yes,
you know, but in a concerned manner.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
right.
In terms of she's 15 years old, she's drinking, and she was actually telling the sister it's the norm for them by the age of 15 to have a child.
Sure.
You mean, you know, you are 15, you are supposed to be grade 10 at that, grade 10, grade 9. And she's now thinking of a child where she's still a child. And I made my colleagues aware, but this is a problem, and you've identified a problem. So I actually formed a challenge to them and said, we are going to do an outreach, and I'm forming a group to them, with them. Because I believe, Jorge, that God didn't just place us there to see a problem, complain about the problem, because the burden is just going to get more and more. So now we've identified this small dorpy area, here in Klerksdorp where we will be going. So we are just looking into in terms of not just taking sanitary towels, you know, what else we can take in with what other stakeholders we can liaise with.
Wow. You seem to be a passionate person who is very passionate about helping others. Is it maybe because of how you were raised or just how you are?
Yeah. I think it's just God's grace. I'm a colored, and where I come from, it's a place similar to Alabama, back in Bloemfontein.
Yeah.
The furthest that you would end up is maybe a cashier with children. So where I am is just God's grace. Wow. Yes, my mom used to help out a lot where she can. I think it comes from her also. Yes, and then knowing that your life is just grace and that you are just the agent of change by God's grace, and that you are placed strategically to be hands and feet. So we all have our secret dialogues that we have with God, our Creator, and I believe He's just opening up networks. Okay. Even being here today, this is another network, another platform, and nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. No, I'm sitting here and I'm thinking that there's so many things that you're doing currently, but I also know that you're a mother. Yes. And the question comes to my mind, how do you balance everything? Like your child is only what, six months?
6 months, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not
Wow.
easy.
Wow.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It can't be. It can't be. I was saying to someone last time that being a mother alone is a lot of work. Being somebody that works, somebody who runs business, it's not easy. So what do you get to the balance?
Well, one thing that I've learned early in this, even being pregnant, is you need support. You can't do things alone. And now having the child here and having him so young and vulnerable at that age.
He's very young. Yeah.
Yes, you need support. I understand now why God said certain things we should wait for and have the support for. Where I get the time for to answer your question, at least the child's father helps a lot. He helps a lot in that regard, and I thank God that I have a network of friends. I'm not from here, I'm from the Free State, so I don't have family here. Yeah. So I have some few very close friends that really helps out because I work strenuous hours. Sometimes I have commitments without, not within work, but busy with my own personal development also. So either my child goes with me, or he's with daddy, or a friend helps out with the child.
Wow. You know what? You are just a phenomenal woman. You are just an amazing woman. And we're going to be talking more to Dr. Valencia Simmons right after the break. Do remember to chat to us on our social media platforms. We are Women in Power with me, your host, Katlego Ngwenya. We'll be right back. Right, welcome back to Women in Power with me, your host, Katlego Ngwenya. I'm still joined by Dr. Valencia Simmons right here, and you know what? I'm getting something from her that she's all about empowering women. And as women, it's about time, Dr. Simmons, that we fix each other's crowns. And now, do you ever experience like discrimination as a female doctor in your field?
Not per se as a female doctor, but one thing that you might find it is in terms of patient and the healthcare provider. When I say healthcare provider, it can be either a doctor or sister that, yeah. Sometimes, how can I say that white patients would be like in terms for a black doctor, you know, undermining
because of the skin color and stuff.
Yeah, undermining your diagnosis or what you have said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes you might find also that you are the senior and your colleague is a junior, but because of skin color, they prefer the junior's opinion of what is being said.
I mean, we still live in a country where race issue is still a very sensitive issue, yeah.
Yes, and another issue that I found in terms of dealing with patients is that they have no respect for people working in government. You'll be busy examining a patient and they'll just walk into the examination room. I mean, it is private. That is our workspace, you know. You don't go as a doctor into an accountant's office
Someone
and
else's
say,
work. Yeah.
how do you do that? You take pictures, you know.
Yeah.
There's no form of respect. If it was in private, that the relative would be sitting there and the procedure would be done on the patient. So there's no form of respect. Even talking to our sisters, no form of respect. I don't know where it comes from, but we've seen a lot of on social media, the bashing that has been going on. So it is quite sad.
Do you feel like it's something that the government can intervene on, or you as doctors can educate the people? Like,
well, we work in hospital settings. I do understand at times when patients are, how can I say, impatient. Because sometimes they've been waiting for long. Remember, where we are working, we work especially after hours. We work with limited of staff, and it's a hospital, so emergencies can happen at any time. And even if you were the first person, if a priority comes in terms of emergency that the person is dying, obviously we have to focus on that person. So maybe the government can help by giving more staff in terms of doctors and nurses, so that when it is after hours, that at least it is sufficiently supplied that our patients don't wait too long. But at our health facility, we really try as much as possible for patients not to wait too long, but it's a hospital, as I said. And normally what we try to do is communicate with our patients while they're sitting in the line, telling them, look here, there's only X number of doctors today on duty, and we are off to emergency. Please wait.
all right. You know what? Because time is against us, I just want you quickly to advise. Someone is out there watching, a young woman is watching, and they feel like, you know what, I want to be a doctor as well. I want to help the community. I want to be involved in community project. What is your last words to that kind of a person who's watching right now?
Be deaf and blind. Do what you want to do, because some people may fear the dream that you have. Remember, for a vision that you have, not everybody sees the end result. You see it. So if you're willing to sacrifice and do your best, just go for it. Irrespective of what other people said, I'm a product of being deaf and blind and willing to stretch myself.
Wow. We look at them and we aspire to become like them, but we just learned today that being a doctor is not as easy. It demands, I mean, it's demanding. You work long hours and stuff like that, but here she is. She is a phenomenal woman. Thank you so much, Dr. Valencia, for joining us today on the show.
Thank you so much.
All right, I personally learned a lot from you. All right, remember to also chat to us, continue with the conversation about all the information that was shared on today's show on our Facebook page. It is Women in Power. And I don't know if you want to share contacts quickly, your Facebook account, Facebook page, rather.
Okay. I would just like an advocate, like an one thing that we didn't mention, I also help orientate the local rodeo program that we have. So if you want to contact the hospital pertaining anything, there's the Clarkstorp Hospital Complex page that you can like on Facebook. And then also for the radio program, it's called Community-Based Health Corner, that you can go and like and give some tips. And please tune in to Star FM every Thursday at 1900 hours, where we discuss relevant issues.
Is that every day?
Every Thursday.
Wow, it's been an amazing show. Thank you so much for watching. From me, your host, Katlego Ngwenya. Motho a re tswelele pele gape re nneng basadi ba sebele, basadi ba leng goreng ba kgona go dira diphetogo in our communities, just like our phenomenal guest ya motsatsing la gompieno e leng Dr. Valencia Simmons. Till we meet again, tswela pele motho go dira diphetogo. Ke a leboga.
Do
Dumelang bagaetsho ko gae. Nna ke Palesa wa Hamogemisa. O bogetse Bokone Bophirima. To those who love adventure, to those who love beautiful things, to those who love mystery, today we bring you to the place of the sun. We bring you to the home of the Valley of the Waves. Today we bring you to Sun City.
Akazayo na mama nsansanjere enipoza muchinyare.
Sun International's flagship resort is as popular today as it was when it was first built in 1979. Nestled between the Elands River and the Pilanesberg National Park, this picturesque resort is styled in opulent African colors, paired with breathtaking architectural features. Boasting 4 luxurious hotels, 2 famous golf courses, and many other exciting attractions, Sun City's idyllic setting, service, and charm makes you feel like royalty from the moment you arrive to your reluctant departure. It's time for an African adventure. Bokone Bophirima, a place of tribes, kings, roots, and culture. We are here today, Koseghaetso Cultural Village, and they're going to tell us more and give us more insight about our cultures. Let's go inside and see.
Welcome to Saghaetso Cultural Village in the heart and soul of Sun City. So right now you're going to be experiencing the heritage of Botswana and where Botswana come from. So come on inside and let's take a look. Like I said, you're currently at Saghaetso Cultural Village in the heart and soul of Sun City. Right here with the Bokone, which is the beautiful lady that you actually first come and see. And right now she's going to tell you more about Saghaetso Cultural Village.
Alright guys, thank you so much Tudo. So welcome to the beautiful Saghaetso Cultural Village. Why Saghaetso? Saghaetso simply means our heritage. This is basically where we're coming from as Botswana people, because Rona Botswana ha re tlhaloganye gore re tlhagang ko teng. So everything you see in the curio shop, we have people who design it, the crafters, from ironwood to beaded neck piece, as you can see. So right now the service we offer is 50 rand per person for the village tour. They're gonna tell you about the Botswana tribes, how they used to live back on those days. There's a beautiful village out there, guys, trust me. We also have traditional dance, which is Swana dance, Zulu, contemporary, gumboots, and Mengu coffee. For that is 150. For the both full package is 200 rand. So guys, I advise you to take the full package because everything is beautiful as Botswana people. Thank you so much.
And I know for a fact that you're gonna love what you see over there. And the only have actually one rule at Saghaetso Cultural Village, the hashtag. Whatever you do, hashtag Saghaetso Dynasty. Thank you. So I'm gonna introduce you to Kagiso Levokovo, who is our tour guide Monamo Saghaetso Cultural Village, and he's gonna introduce you to the entire experience of the cultural village.
Thank you. Welcome to Saghaetso Cultural Village. Welcome to Saghaetso Dynasty, where you will experience more about Botswana culture and the inheritance of Botswana, the main roots about Botswana. Knowing yourself is much important because before you present yourself in front of everyone, you have to know who we are, our real roots. So now we are going to experience about Botswanas, the living of Botswanas, and you will know about the 10 tribes of Botswana that has been represented by the totem animals. As we know that Botswana, they honor the animals because the characteristics of Botswana are similar to the animals. So in Setswana language, we say, "Are ba baleng ngwao, e re go tsoga le one re totobe rotlhe, tsoga re totobe mmogo mo gaetsho." Welcome to our village. Welcome to our first tribe of Botswana, which is Bakhatla ba Khafela, all the way from Moruleng. Ke Bakhatla ba khabo e khabola mekhabolo e khabotsweng ke dikgabo tse di kgantswana khopana. A re melelwaneng ga ba khabaganya ke Bakhatla ba Mmamotia. The tribe is represented to you by our beautiful lady, Kumo Tau. Welcome, my lady.
Thank you, Levogovoko. My name is Kumo. I'm presenting Bakhatla tribe. Bakhatla, they are from Moruleng. We drive here 30 kilometers from resort. Our leadership is Khosinyala Nepilan, is our king. Our total animal is monkey. The relationship between Bakhatla and our total animal is Bakhatla, they're from Botswana to South Africa, and they arrive at a place called Moruleng. And they come across the monkeys. If the monkeys are too clever and too smart, so Bakhatla, they're intelligent. They have their own mine, mall, radio station, and stadium, and many more coming. Thank you, Luvogovoko.
Welcome to Bakupu Mporateo, the Hippo tribe. A re kgobakgetse ga ngwane kana kgaitsadi dintšha tsa rona di bofilwe ka fo bakubung di a bofwa ga o ka utlwa go ngangaulwa kapa o utlwa mobogolo ga se tsa ka kwano gongwe ke tsa baagisane. Welcome to Bakubun tribe, represented to you by our beautiful Motswana lady, Kifilwe Matho. Kifilwe o filwe ke borre mogolo ba gagwe ngwao ba e tlampuretse ka la molema letsogo. Welcome, Kifilwe.
Thank you. My name is Kifilwe, representing the Bakubun tribe. The Bakubun people were moved from a place called Molote in Ventersdorp. The reason behind that is because their land was very rich and they had to move out because they wanted to make agriculture out of the place. But now they found a place which is less than 5 kilometers from the resort, and the place is called Lidach, under the leadership of Khosi Solomon Mpupute Monakotla. The reason why we say Khosi is to honor and respect our chief. And their totem animal is a hippopotamus. Yes, they are honoring a hippopotamus. Thank you.
Selani we, selani sela.
Selani we.
Selani sela.
Selani we, oye lele mama. Selani we, oye lele mama. Selani.
You're still watching your favorite program, Bokone Bophirima, right here, Mosakhayoto Cultural Village. Don't go nowhere. We will be right back.
Opa opa ndia tlatse usela.
Selani we.
Usela.
Mama Rute, awoyelele. Mama Rute, awoyelele. Mama Rute, Rute, Mama Rute, Selaniwe,
We have seen the history of our people. We have gotten down and dirty. Now it's time to get down to business.